Hey, everybody, this is Darren Sabedra again, Bayer News Group, Mercury News, East Bay Times, here with Nathan Canilao, Joseph Dycus, Christian Babcock. We just wrapped up. Well, we haven't wrapped up yet. We're still in the middle of wrapping up, although we're taking a break to chat with you, our viewers, right?
That's how much we love you guys.
So it's Championship Saturday night. Some crazy games out there. Some unexpected results. Expected results, wild finishes. I guess we'll start. Let's start with the big one where Nathan was. Nathan, you said Salesian was going to win. Joseph, you said Salesian was going to win.
I did.
And you jumped on that bandwagon and said Salesian was going to win.
Yes, I did claim, sight unseen, I don't have good intel. But yes, you were correct.
Somebody said on this panel that Salesian was going to score 42 points, and I got laughed at. How many points did they score?
Score 42.
Should we get you? Do you want your Spartan helmet in the email?
I've got a Spartan. I've got a blue and gold Spartan somewhere around here.
Do you want a little green white cookie or something I'm going to give you?
What's that?
You want a little green white cookie or something for taking the score?
No.
Well, frost it for you. It'll be all nice.
Nathan, De La Salle rose to the occasion, huh?
Yeah, so I think an underestimated part of what we did not talk about was that while Salesian is long and tall, De La Salle is big and strong. They were really big down there, and Balogun and Braddock, Gelsvig, they were dominant. They forced those switches. De La Salle's really good when they're ahead, and I don't think I've watched a game this year when they've been ahead and they lost. So they got off to a good start. They got to the bigs early, and Salesian just could not hit a shot. It was a little bit of a perfect storm of everything. I mean, De La Salle played great defense, but Salesian, especially in the first half, Salesian had some great looks. Couldn't knock anything down. And that was the game. De La Salle, even when Alec Blair, he did get hurt second half.
Ankle, right?
Yeah, he rolled his right ankle. It looks like an ankle sprain. He was on crutches and ice bag after the game. He did say he's going to play whenever they play next. His goal is to play. Now, I don't know if that will actually happen. I think we should be really weary of that because he could not walk off the court by himself. It looked like a really bad sprain.
And they're going to play Wednesday. What did Marcus Schroeder say? Fingers crossed?
Fingers crossed. They're hoping they can do whatever they can to get him up to speed for Wednesday. They do expect him to play. What essentially I got is that if he said he's playing, he's playing. But it was a bad fall. He was down. He needed help to get back up. But even with that, De La Salle looked exactly the same after Blair went out. It was a really good team win for those guys.
So Blair had, I think, 12 points before he got hurt. So I think I mentioned I thought he would be very determined not to lose 4 of these games. To go 0 for 4 in his career. And I guess he was having a good game before he went down.
Yeah, he was attacking. He kind of did what I thought he was going to do if they were going to win, and he was really being the distributor he was. I will give this really cool anecdote that I might sprinkle into my story, but Marcus Schroeder, coach, since practice after Wednesday doubling game, so Thursday and Friday, he put in pictures of Salesian winning the title last year against De La Salle all over the gym. He put it on their scoreboard. He put it in their lockers, put that stuff everywhere. And that was the motivating factor for at least for Blair and certainly for everybody else. But that was a little motivating tactic he did over the last couple of days.
Were they Jose's photos?
I believe so. I think they were our photos.
Yes.
They were our photos. So
let's assume Blair plays. I mean, how realistic? I mean, this De La Salle team has put together a very nice resume. I mean, now they got a huge win over Salesian. They beat Santa Margarita, which I believe won the Trinity League. I mean, They played a tough schedule. They played Harvard Westlake. I mean, they really weren't in that game too much. I mean, I saw it was one of those showcase games, I think down in Arizona. But I mean, they weren't even really part of the conversation when we were talking about Reardon, Salesian, and St. Joe's. I mean, if Blair plays, their defense is tremendous. I mean, can they stop some of these high-profile teams like a Reardon or a St. Joe's?
So that is where I think we've seen Salesian. We saw Salesian play St. Joe's, and it really isn't really that close. I mean, it was at times, but it wasn't. So I think maybe this game tells us a lot. I mean, I think it obviously tells us a lot about De La Salle, but it does also tell us a lot about Salesian, where they are. They're a young team. They are an open team, in my opinion, but I think it did show maybe they're not quite the same as where they were last year. And so I think if Blair plays, I do think it'll be competitive against St. Joe's or even against a Reardon. I just do worry about, like Salesian has athletes, but they're not big. Reardon has athletes and they're big. So
they are very big. We saw, Joseph and I saw that on Saturday. I mean, on Friday, that Salesian is long, big, and Reardon is long, big, and they're going to be a tough out. Joseph, you were at in Moraga, where we thought that Akalani's playing in within its district was going to have an edge over San Ramon, plus the way the season has unfolded, but that was far from the case.
Far from the case. So what it seemed to be a theme in this, these open games, one team goes out to a big lead early. Unlike some coaches, Margaret Gardner, after her team went down 12-0 in the first quarter, she actually called timeout. So the timeout didn't really work, though. It didn't really change anything. And, I mean, San Ramon Valley leads 21-7 after a quarter, 34-14 at halftime, and it didn't get any better. It ended up 76-43. San Ramon Valley is not the biggest team in the world, but all of their girls really enjoy playing inside, and they just attacked Akalani's on the interior. I mean, they put their head down, went to the rim. They didn't score. They grabbed the offensive rebound, went up again. They didn't score, got the offensive rebound, did it again. It was like Groundhog Day. Every possession was, you are San Ramon Valley is the hammer, Akalani's is the nail. And it was
all San Ramon Valley tonight.
All San Ramon Valley.
Before we move on to Christian, I think we had an epic NCS Division II boys game, right, Nathan?
Yes, and I just saw the video of how Moreau won. Our freelancer Devin Bradshaw has a story. It says a story coming out on it, and wow, was that a crazy game? So if I saw the video correctly, Cardinal Newman is up 1 with 0.4 seconds. So literally all that has to happen is that someone needs to touch the ball and the buzzer will sound. Cardinal Newman's a winner. Cardinal Newman throws a football pass to the other side of the floor, and a Cardinal Newman player tries to grab it, and in doing so, he pulls down a Moreau player, causing a foul. Moreau is in the bonus, down 1. That player shoots 2 free throws, and they win the game. It is madness. I mean, you couldn't have. I mean, literally all that had to happen was Cardinal Newman could give the ball to Moreau. Like, honestly, they
could bounce it off somebody's foot.
They could bounce off someone. They could hand it to Moreau and say, "Shoot the ball," and they probably had no more time.
By the way, shout out to whoever made those free throws at the end. I cannot imagine the pressure of having to shoot those free throws with
Jalen Arnold, the wide receiver who won a state championship, knocked down 2 free throws to win the game.
He's big time. He's big time.
Carried them to that football championship in the NCS and NorCal games of football. Just a big time player.
Yes. So one of the most insane games. You guys could read about it later tonight, but really an insane game that one of a lot of those today. So.
Christian, you saw a barn burner, I guess, with Palo Alto and Carlmont tonight in the CCS Division I championship game. Was that the best of the 3 you saw?
Yes, it was, and that is saying something because I saw 3 pretty good games. Los Gatos, Menlo Atherton looked very much not like it was going to be a good game in the girls D1. Los Gatos had a 15-2 lead after the first quarter, and they stretched that out to 24-5. And then, believe it or not, with about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it was a 6-point game. And then, let me get the name here. Got to scroll. Molly Gray on Menlo Atherton got her eyebrow lacerated, and there was blood all over the floor. She had to leave and get stitches at, I assume, a local hospital. After that, Los Gatos kind of put the clamps down and scored 6 more points and won. So that was the first game. And then Menlo Harker girls basketball, Division 4, came down to Isabella Lowe had a 3-pointer for the tie, rattled out. That would have sent that game to overtime. And then, Palo Alto Carlmont was still the best game of the day. Phenomenal basketball. I think the largest lead was probably 6 or 7 points the whole game. Carlmont might have stretched it out a little bit in the third quarter, but really nip and tuck, great basketball, great defense, some really great shot making on both sides, and it came right down to the end. So I think it was everything we would have hoped for the Division I boys game.
The CCS had other wild games. Sorry to say that your alma mater, Westmont, which staged a late rally 11-0 run to go up by 4 with 25.2 seconds left against Christopher, couldn't hold on and lost 51-50.
So how did they lose the lead?
I think they missed a couple of free throws.
Oh, because they made the free throws.
Glenn was telling me about it. Yeah, that it was heartbreaking because the kid had a great game.
Yeah, they made their free throws last game against San Mateo. That's how they won. So.
I think that's what Glenn said. They that free throws. Let me double check that. But while I'm doing that, I know Nathan started his day at that same gym where Glenn was to see the Westmont game. Tell us about Mills staging a crazy comeback to avenge last year's loss to Notre Dame San Jose, and they beat them this year to win the Division III championship for CCS girls.
Yeah, so Mills, it's a rematch of last year. Remember, for context, last year, longtime head coach Dave Matsu passed away right before the season, and so it was a really emotional year. They really wanted to win that for him. Came up short in overtime. It was just a dejected locker. I remember being there and just how dejected and emotional it was in kind of the plaza there inside near the gym. They come back this year. It's a rematch. Notre Dame looks like they're about to just blow them out. They hit a few crazy step back threes from like Steph Curry range. And I'm in the middle. I'm like, oh, this is over. I'm writing the game story. They have a 10-point lead. There's no way they give it up the way they're shooting. They come all the way back. They hit a bunch of threes late, and then at the end they just kind of sealed it with a couple made free throws, and it was just an emotional win for Justin Matsu, Dave's son. He was very really wanted this, and he got it. So they win their second CCS title in 3 years. They've been to the finals, I believe, every year for the last 4 years. So it's been quite a run for Mills. That was definitely an emotional game for both sides, but quite a run.
All right, we haven't talked about the game where I was. Livermore High, where Doherty Valley, a team Nathan has seen plenty this season. They were up 28-21 at halftime, and they really put the clamps down on Redwood in the second half. Held Redwood to 16 points for the half. They built a 20-plus point lead. Ended up winning by 32, I believe. But during their big run, Jalen Stokes had a one heck of a dunk. I mean, I was like, is he really going to go for a dunk? And he did go for a dunk, and he got it with Redwood's TT Carr going up with him. And yes,
that has to be the best kind of dunk, right? When the two stars of the game are involved.
Well, it was weird. It was like Redwood was pressing, and so Stokes got the pass from a teammate near midcourt, and he got past that pressing defender. So he's going at, from one angle, and he looked and he saw TT Carr coming from the other angle, and they go up, and Stokes got the dunk down, and Mike Hansen, the coach of Doherty Valley, his mouth dropped, and the gym just erupted. And Stokes had a heck of a game today. According to my stats, 17 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, and a couple of dunks. It's not a bad day.
No.
Not a bad day for sure. I know I'm sure Mike Hansen was super happy cutting down that net over there at Livermore High.
How many is that in a row for? That's what, 3 NCS titles in a row now for Doherty Valley.
That is 3 NCS titles in a row. They beat De La Salle in the Open Division Championship 2 years ago, and then they beat Dublin last year, which Dublin had Jalen Stokes last year in that game.
Crazy, because Dublin's also in an open division team this year.
Right.
And Doherty has a division.
Right.
Well,
And the Doherty made it clear they were not happy about not being in the Open, but it was their fault. They did not want to play the victim card. They just wanted to prove a point, and they did by dominating Division One.
Yeah. Speaking of Doherty Valley, I wanted to throw out there. I covered some soccer early in the day, and Doherty Valley got the 2-1 win over De La Salle in the NCS Open or NCS Division One championship, first ever soccer title for Doherty Valley at any level. Pretty interesting clash of styles too. It's kind of like watching those old like Barcelona Real Madrid games where Real Madrid just uses physicality and speed, and then Barcelona was the quick passing and the technical skill. Granted, De La Salle was also very technically gifted, but Doherty goes up 2-0. There's 8 minutes left. I think, okay, this one's over. Of course, then they foul a De La Salle player in the box, and Ronan Radigan buries the PK. So now it's 2-1, and with about a minute left, De La Salle's got a free kick right in front of the goal. And I was like, oh, just my luck. They're gonna score. We're gonna go to extra time. It's another 45 minutes to this game. And the Doherty Valley keeper, whose last name is I think Kundor, he saved the shot. Doherty Valley won, and that was my bit of soccer for the day. While y'all were watching basketball, I was enjoying some real football.
Joseph, sources at my game were saying that game got a little chippy there at the end too.
It did get a little chippy. But the powers that be, shout out to Leo Lopez and the Doherty Valley administrators also, keeping things separated. Yeah, I got a little chippy at the end, but you know what? And you're playing a tough physical game. There were 6 yellow cards in that game. Neither side, I would say, was completely innocent. But you know what? Nothing spun out of control. I thought, you know what? You'd rather be a little chippy and people care, right? So, fun game.
There you go, Christian. You had your hand raised before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I just want to thank Doherty Valley for making me look good because I put them number 2 a long time ago, and they've been playing really well since then. So, congrats to them, and congrats on their first NCS title. Great year for them.
Also, our soccer roundup written by veteran freelancer now, used to be an editor here, Mike Lefkow, put together a nice soccer roundup that's online now. Joseph has the separate game story with Doherty Valley, but the roundup includes all the day in CCS action and NCS action, including the Monte Vista girls victory over Amador Valley to win the NCS Division I title. Monte Vista was a 10 seed, and they won it. So shout out to Monte Vista, the Mustangs getting the big W today to win the girls NCS D1 crown. I know we still have work to do, so we probably should wrap it up. We all good?
Yeah, one thing I should have mentioned was the SRV and beating Acalanes today. They had made the last 3 NCS Open title games and lost all 3 of them. So they avoided becoming the Buffalo Bills of
same as De La Salle. That's the theme of the night. De La Salle was 0 for 3 in the last 3 open games, so they could have been the Buffalo Bills. Not to be for both teams.
Not to be for both teams.
I would like to shout out just a couple teams that won. St. Mary's of Berkeley girls won Division III. I just got off the phone with Coach Tania Nelson. They came back from 15 down against a really good Doherty team. So they won, and then a couple of Bishop O'Dowd wins Division I. think the first Division I championship since '95, and then we got St. Patrick, St. Vincent beating Piedmont, and I believe the Division IV boys for hoops. So a couple of teams there that from our coverage area that got some good wins.
Right, and a lot of action in CCS too. So check us out. All of our content's online, or it will be online here shortly. So thanks for watching. We Joseph and Nathan will have all the coverage tomorrow from what's tomorrow? The CIS state matchups.
CIS state matchups.
For
Yep.
basketball and soccer coming out tomorrow. All right.
Busy day. Busy day.
That's a wrap.